Ladies and gentlemen, YouTubers, welcome to another session of JoJo's GG's, doing something a little bit different now. This is a replay commentary video of a battle I've played. So I'm playing solo, Myrmidons, tier 8. And the first thing you notice I do is I take a back position. I notice the only range we have is archers and a bit of artillery. The 4-man party is split up. You got 2 down, so that's what I'm spotting for. Steady and the Chatwork are going down with Legat up there with the Sula Cab. So I say basically limited range. Let's push hard. We got a lot of infantry. Let's go. So first thing I do, standard unit stuff for spears with Miltiades. You get out of the way of other infantry, and then so you can charge and take an advantage. Now see the pikes moving up with the archers, which is the right thing to do. We got infantry and we got 2 sets of elephants. On the right side we got 1 set of elephants. That's tier 8 infantry, which I will go back to in a sec. There we go. And cavalry. Now they have, I noticed the foxmen up there, but also the has durable spears, veterans of Trebia. I clicked on them, so I know what's on that right flank. The Germanica swords can hold for now. Now I'm pushing up to the hill. Now I can see at the top right corner, you can see the infantry there as well in the far corner. So I noticed they got some backup infantry. So I'm thinking, let's put some pressure on them here. Go up to the hill. We're about to spot what they have, and watch what I do as soon as they have. You see, notice I'm pushing forward. Notice pikes and archers. Okay, let's go. See, I don't stop. I carry on. The idea is I want to close this gap before the pikes do. And as I'm about to, those archers are going to get munched by cavalry. So here I am, ratios going up. The cavalry on the bottom right corner, you can see they're just about to decimate the archers because they couldn't get in protection in time. Boom, they got hit. I faked the pike phalanx on the unit, pull back, I notice there's a gap, squeeze through, and then I head for the slingers. I'm going to get a few of mine caught, but no big deal. That is our allied cav, they got top left there, but I noticed they must have more stuff in the woods, you know. First thing I see is, well, the pikes are turning around to hit the cavalry, so I charge them in the back, then I go chase the slingers down. I accidentally used 2 fears. I noticed the swords up there, so I think, oh, swords are okay, but it's the dogs that made me turn around. But the dogs charged their slingers in the back. See, now the infantry is coming back to protect the slingers. I'm about to finish the pikes on the left. We've got infantry coming back, and our allied cavalry gets a beautiful charge at the top of the slingers. Those pikes down below, bottom left, have got absolutely no chance because they're not defending any range. They're just on their own. So there's no point even attacking them. At this point, I make a decision. Loads of infantry on the right. I can move by the road and the top left. I want to get to their base. My plan now at this point is to draw their infantry back to the base and basically deny them the ability to defend their stragglers that are already fighting. So I'm running back to the base. They realize it. I was waiting for that infantry guy to commit, that Santa guy, but unfortunately he didn't. So and I wasn't willing to commit if he hadn't commit first. There's just no point. So here I am running back. I'm trying to get to the base, drawing their lines back. I notice then the slingers start to shoot me, so I do need to face the volleys. Then the dogs come in, and I think, okay, well, you know what? This unit is going to die. Let's just send him in, attack, make him last as long as possible. I've ignored him now. Now I'm focusing on the other 2 units. Now I'm trying to go for their base. I notice the foxes at the left, and basically I look at the top score at this point. We're at an advantage, which is pretty good. That unit's going to get absolutely decimated, but I've got 2 alive, and I'm heading towards their base. The plan is I want to draw as much units back as possible, while the rest gets completely destroyed. Now I'm up against a pretty serious challenge. This is Arminius with momentum on cleavers. Now they can outrun me, so there's no point trying to run away. I need to face that. So I basically charge 1, fear, phalanx up. I do get a surprising flank on him. This might be enough to make him rout, but unfortunately it wasn't. Next thing I notice is the other ones are coming in, so I need to back my phalanx line up and basically turn to the left so I can face them to the right, like that. As I do, I realize my next fear is what's coming up on the left cliff. Is there anything going to flank me from the rear? Because if there is, I'm going to lose both my units very, very quickly. I quickly take a top left glance and I see the infantry coming from the top. So that's an issue. Now I have to make a choice. What do? Do I stand and fight, or do I run away? So I decide to sacrifice my 2nd unit, taking my 3rd. Unfortunately, that is my commander. But the whole idea of this is to get a unit in the base and draw as many as I can back to deny them a fight with all our other units. And so far, I managed to get 1 unit in out of the 3 that they had initially planned to get there. So now that 1 unit is there, and you can see there's Roman infantry, there's cleavers, and there's even some spears as well. Everyone is coming back. Why? Because there's 1 unit in the base and they're capping pretty quick. So at this point, I'm just taunting them. At this point, I've got 1 unit in the base. Everyone is coming back here, and I'm just waiting for them to come back because they have to. Unfortunately, they send way too many units back just for one of mine. They honestly should have let the spears deal with it on the left, and the cleavers and the Roman infantry should have gone to fight forward. It's the only chance they would have had any chance in maybe winning. Maybe it was already lost considering we're up 700 to 340, but there you go. Here I am just taunting them as much as I can. See, I draw them in, so now I know I can go back and then left. As soon as I back off here, I notice he stops chasing me. And what does he do? He turns around, so then I decide to go back in, just taunting them. I'll have a quick look at my right to see if there's anything, and what do I notice? I notice the dogs. So then the next thing I do is I decide, well, there's no point charging in because I'll just get flanked. So I decide to take a left turn up here so the dogs and the Roman infantry don't pincer me. So they finally scared me off. Unfortunately, they've lost already way too many men. There isn't much that can be done. So now basically what I'm doing is I'm going to go for this guy here, but I'm not actually going to engage. The whole point is so he doesn't engage the elephants and the spears in front because he knows he's going to get flanked. But my plan is not to actually engage that because I've got dogs on my back. However, he took the bait, so he turns around and he tries to attack me. I just turn around because that was my plan, to stop him from fighting. He then turns around and faces it, but it's too late. We got Lord Eagle back up. I then have to deal with the dogs, and so I run back. And at this point here, it really is just, okay, relax, we should win this fairly easily. So I'm just fighting up the dogs. Let's see how long I can keep this unit alive. I decide to attack while I'm noticing the dogs at the bottom right corner. Now I think, okay, if he's smart, he's going to try and surround me and flank. What am I going to do? I'm most likely going to lose this unit as well. Maybe if he sends the other dogs on me, I can get a quick charge in like that, boom, and do like a lot of damage. Lord Eagle, unfortunately, he's going to go get the other spears. He's not going to provide any assist, but I see the double cav, allied cav behind there. Now I notice they have one dog on the left and two on the right, and I noticed that out of those two cav, the one that has the most units is the one on the right. So it makes more sense to go attack the one on the right, because having two on me, facing me, means the larger group can get a good rear charge on them. So I go to the right, the cav charges in and hits him in the rear, bam, nice charge. Now I make the most of the fact that they are knocked down to try and pull through, basically, because I want to run away. At this point, I'm routed. He focused all his attention on me. Pulling through the larger cav units. See, had I gone the other way, I wouldn't have been as successful because I wouldn't have forced a rear charge flank from our allied cavalry onto the dogs. It wouldn't have worked as well. So now I've got my morale back, put break ranks back on, trying to regroup all my troops, and then I go into the charge. But as you can see, really, the pivotal moment, there were a few. The first moment was as I managed to squeeze through the pike phalanx and get behind the lines. If not, they would have had a solid defense with the ranged behind, but the ranged did get hit by the cavalry as well. I suppose that pike unit in the beginning had a choice. So at this point, where I'm just pulling through my units to try and stay alive as much as possible, but it is over. So really, the pike unit had a choice: either stay defend the archers or try and wall off my advance. Next, I sacrificed one unit so two could get to the base, but unfortunately, with the cleavers, only one managed to make it in the end. Still, it was enough to draw all that infantry back and deny them the support of supporting their other units, and as a result, this is where we end up. Hope you enjoyed the video and the commentary about kind of my thought process. It's a bit different because I can focus on only speaking. And as always, we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.